Good afternoon, everybody. My name is William Quigley. I'm the CEO of Opskins. I have a large background in consumer products at Disney, running the venture capital arm of Idea Lab, building, operating, investing in many well-known consumer brands. And the reason that's important today is because in the opening part of our remarks, I want to talk about a problem we in the crypto community have, and that is with consumers. The problem is there are not a lot of consumers who are using what we're building. And the question is why consumers haven't yet embraced cryptos. Where is the market? And anyone out there who's either investing in cryptos or is just interested in this industry blossoming and wants to know the answer, where is the big consumer market that will use blockchain and cryptos to expand, to better serve its customers? A market ideally that's global, which plays to the strength of the blockchain and of course cryptos, that's all digital, because if it's all digital, it scales. And one that's existing and organized. I would emphasize existing. A market where there's a lot of consumers who want to do something and there's not a good solution for them. An existing market that we don't have to wait around for to develop. A market where consumers are already having problems that we know would be solved or could be solved or improved with blockchain and with cryptos. So as I said, I'm the CEO of Opskins. Opskins sells online virtual items, what we call skins. I'll explain what a skin is in just a second. And our market, by the way, is a market that is ideally suited for what the blockchain and cryptocurrencies provide. So we don't sell baby skins, but there's a reason that's up there. From the moment a person is born, they try to stand out. They try to differentiate themselves from others in their community. All human beings and all cultures do this. The most dramatic way we do this is by personalizing our skin. We put markings on ourselves to distinguish ourselves from one another and to impress those in our community. Now, these markings are strictly cosmetic. They don't make you faster, they don't make you stronger, but they do make you appear special. They make you appear unique. Now, I said we sell online video items, but online gamers are no different from everybody else. They want to stand out. And how do you stand out in a generic online video game? You try to personalize yourself. In this case, a very popular game, PUBG. What does the guy do? He puts on a badass looking trench coat. A trench coat, by the way, that will cost you about $400. That trench coat has unique elements of it, which is why it stands out and why there's social status for having it. This is an image from a very popular online game called Counter-Strike, CSGO. That's a standard issue weapon. It has olive drab texture and look, and looks like every other model of the same type of weapon. Until a video gamer decides to attach a skin to it. Now, a skin is a digital paint job. It's like graffiti. That skin actually doesn't do anything to enhance the capability of that weapon. But it does something much more important to people in the online video game community. It allows them to stand out among their peers. Opskins helps people visually merchandise these weapons. And I think something happened in my presentation, but I'll try to continue. That there is another example of a skin, right? Something you would slap on your particular object, whatever it is, and make people know who you are. The important point here is that this is a unique item. There's no other item like that particular one in the world. Now, what is surprising to many people, and I'll try to go back here, is that this particular skin cost 9 Bitcoin. That skin cost $37,000. And on our site, on Opskins, it would last a few minutes before it was sold. It's a digital item, easily transferable, very expensive, and has some things that make the safety of transferring it problematic, which is where OpSkins comes in. This, if it works, is an example of someone who's just acquired one of these skins. Let's see if it goes. And it doesn't. But it would have been a very fantastic expression of a guy jumping up and down because he won something that for him is one of a kind. OpSkins itself was formed in 2015. Since that time, we've become the global leader in trading these items. We now have consumers buying 2 million items per week from our website. Billions of dollars in transactions. And we're selling to about 400 million people who buy and trade these items across the world. Now, how do you become the global leader in creating a giant website that transacts in skins? You do all these 6 things, but pay particular attention to banking and payment ubiquity and security. Anytime you're dealing with digital items, as most of you know, there's a risk, and especially when they're high-value digital items. So we spend a lot of time on those problems. Before the blockchain, they were very expensive problems to try to solve, and we never really did get them perfect. We're better than anyone else, but they could be improved. As I said, there's limitations to what we do. This is where the blockchain comes in. One of those is reach. There are 400 million of these people who buy and sell skins in 100 different countries. OpSkins itself accepts 50 different fiat currency types. And anyone who's been in business who deals with multi-currency knows that's a real pain. We also deal with all the other standard issues of e-commerce. There's fraud, but in particular we have a problem because the vast majority of what we do is between buyer and seller in different countries working with different currencies, which means there's a currency conversion VIG. And I think over the coming months, we're going to learn a lot about how big that VIG is that the global financial institutions capture. But we've looked at it, and it's much bigger than I'd like it to be. And so when it comes to cross-border payments of small dollar amounts, you can easily see there might be a better solution than doing it with fiat. So about a year ago, my team and I set out to create a better marketplace, a better way of transacting in these items using elements of cryptos. The first is we introduced Bitcoin to our community. As much as it's probably shocking to all of us here, the vast, vast, vast majority of the world has never even heard of Bitcoin, let alone knows how to use it. Online video gamers were the same. But out of 100 different payment options that we allow our customers to use, out of 100 within a year, Bitcoin is now the number 3 most popular payment mechanism. For all of us who have read about, oh, Bitcoin is a store of value, no one really uses it, that's true unless there's a proper use case. When buying and selling skins, it is used, and OpSkins is now one of the top 5 e-commerce sites globally for accepting cryptos, Bitcoin as deposit, and paying it out. There's a lot more we can do, however, and in our minds, a centralized approach to trading skins is problematic, has its limitations, and a better solution would be a decentralized model. Now, we'll see if you can read that. If you can't, because I can't see anything there, that would have said the elements that we've incorporated in our platform. They include a smart contract settlement, obviously the nature of immutable payments, but also because our ecosystem has tens of thousands of businesses that facilitate a trade. It may appear there's a buyer, a seller, and a digital escrow agent in the middle. In fact, there can be up to 8 parties involved in getting a buyer to get an item and a seller to receive payment. All of those parties get paid. They typically, like most affiliates, get paid weeks after the transaction, which discourages a lot of them from wanting to participate. Now imagine if you could pay them in real time with every transaction. And the reason we're bothering to do this and build this, and this is the second exchange, by the way, that my partners and I have built. We built the very first exchange trading virtual items in 1998, and then we created that into the largest marketplace in the world. We've now built the largest skins marketplace in the world. But this will be the first decentralized marketplace in the world for skins. And the reason we bother is because in 4 years, the global skins industry has grown to $50 billion. $50 billion made up of 400 million consumers, mostly millennials, trading between $10 and $20 on average in value back and forth between each other. So you can imagine why that's relevant to what we're doing here. Now, this is particularly striking for me. 400 million people buying and selling. Compare that to 4 million consumers in the world who use cryptocurrencies for e-commerce. It's virtually no one. But that's because this group hasn't yet been educated about it, and there hasn't been a solution tailored for what they do. That's what Opskins has done. We have built a solution called the Wax Platform. We're the most knowledgeable in the world about how to trade in-game virtual items, and we've worked with some of the most noteworthy people in the video game industry and the crypto industry to develop a platform that is tailored, custom-made for this market. And as a result of that, when we did our private pre-sale, in about 4 days we filled up more than what we had originally allocated. 26 million was the allocation. We were oversubscribed to over 30 million in about 4 days. And I think if you look at the quality of the investors that we attracted, they also agree that what we've built is going to be very powerful for both the crypto industry and for consumers in general. If you would like to learn more, go to waxtoken.com. I'd love to have you read up on what we're doing and see if it's something that would excite you as much as it excites us. Thank you.